Hello, amazing and passionate Capricorn friends, and welcome and thank you for joining my channel, Gift of Astrogab. And we are here to discuss your April 2021 astrological forecast, what I call the astrological chats. And April is looking really, um, I would say, auspicious for all the signs and for everyone. There's great transformation in different parts of their lives, and it's looking like a very dynamic month. It is Aries season, and with that fire, we get transformation, transmutation. We get a lot of energy moving us forward, really, because it is a cardinal sign, the first sign, starting things off. That first represents that first beacon of light, at daybreak. It's kind of like getting up in the morning and that zest for life. So talking about the aspects here in April as a whole, there are more sextiles than anything else, and those are very beneficial aspects. So there's a beneficial bent to the month, and it's very dynamic with a sprinkling of squares here and there, and it's really moving us forward because squares are action. They're points of they could be points of a little bit of tension, but without friction, we can't make a fire, and without a fire, we can't make an engine run, so to speak. So with that, let's get into your April and be more specific here. So on the 2nd of April, to start you off, we are having Mercury in Pisces in your third house, sextiling Pluto and Capricorn in your first. What is this saying? We have a dreamy communication here, and it's working in a very easy way with Pluto and Capricorn in the first. Pluto and Capricorn in the first is it's transformation. It's how are you, or how have you been, Capricorn? Majorly transforming. It could be your physical body. It could be your personality. It's even your kind of like what's been happening to you recently. Can it be some intense events that have been really transforming you, and how are you how are you working through that in a very creative, communicative like way in your mind? Like you could be dreaming or having dreams that are getting you through a trauma, um, passing, bringing you out of it as well, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So you're finding creative ways, being able to do that, to transform yourself, and that's a beautiful thing. Then the next day, on the 3rd, very different energy. We have Mercury entering Aries in the 4th house, and that's your family. That's your family life. That's your home base. And if you could also have friends that are like family, or just people that you consider that. Now, with Mercury entering Aries there, you're having fast communication there. You're having quick, moving communication. You're having a lot of resolution there, and it's happening rather quickly. And you're probably wondering, like, wow, how did this, with the beneficial aspects, how did this resolve itself so quickly? And that's looking very good as well. You love that, and it's moving you forward. Now, it's not to say that that's going to happen so easy. It could happen, but it's going to happen quickly. So, um, you know, in the beginning of the month, you may feel a little bit like rocky, but it's like I feel like the highs are way better than the lows. Now, on the 6th, we have Venus in Aries in your 4th house, sextiling Mars in Gemini in your 6th. Again, the 4th house is that home base, family life, kind of comforts too, like what comforts you. And Venus in Aries is there Venus in Aries is very very strong, very potent energy, strong desires for home or for family. There is benefiting Mars and Gemini in your sixth, which is your actions of day-to-day life, you know. So maybe you're taking some kind of loving action towards family, um, and being very active about it, like kind of like powerfully doing that in your day-to-day life around this time. Maybe it's maybe you're sending gifts home, or like things like that. Or sixth house is also your routines, your day-to-day life. It could be that you're finding harmony between the home and day-to-day life, um, a regime you have, and striking that balance in a really beneficial way with home. Now on the ninth, we have Mars and Gemini in your sixth house. It is squaring Neptune and Pisces in the third. But like I said, squares are, what the friction needed to get the engine running. Um, and with the sextiles all around it that are beneficial, it's looking like it's all turning, like the engine's running for a forward motion, so to speak. So with Mars and Gemini there in your sixth, squaring Neptune and Pisces in your third, we're having like action, and Gemini's like double action. So you can like multitasking kind of action in your day-to-day life, here and there and here. It's could be random, and maybe that's causing a little bit of issues in communication with maybe a person that likes to communicate in a more dreamy way, and you're being more direct. Or it could be also in like business. Third house is like commerce and local business and things like that. You could be taking actions, and then you know the business has to kind of catch up to you, um, and just find that clarity where you are. So, or maybe it's you, you know, messing with a little bit of haze, dealing with a little bit of haze in your day-to-day life and actions. Now on the 10th, we have Mercury in Aries in your fourth house, sextiling Saturn in Aquarius in your second. So Mercury in Aries in that fourth house is really, like I said, it's very dynamic. It's very, blunt communication, and it's benefiting. This blunt communication that you're taking um, is actually benefiting your your financial discipline, your financial, routine. You're probably trying to find more responsibility in your finances or the things you value. Um, Maybe finding that time for like the family things coming up as well. So how you value them, and you want to like, since Mercury is in Aries, you're taking action to kind of concretize how you value your family as well. Now on the 11th, we have a new moon in Aries. Again, a lot of Aries here, a lot of Aries action for everybody, but in different parts of their life. And for you, it's the home. So you take your home seriously. It's in the fourth house for you, Capricorn. So you take your family life very seriously, and you like to take action, and you're just passionate. So, but with the new moon here, it's all about planting new seeds of growth in the home, in the hearth for your family. And this could be like, I don't know, there's a lot of people that want to travel, but like maybe you're doing things to just find more time for family, I think. And because on the 11th as well, we have a little point of tension with Venus and Aries in your fourth, squaring Pluto and Capricorn in your first. So, this transformation that you've been going through, and your love for home, it's like good things are happening for you. or maybe it's transformational. So when you have transformation, you have this dichotomy of like amazing passion, amazing highs and lows, because you're transforming through some trauma. And how is that? How are you dealing with that? Are you trying to be dealing with home matters and family matters in a loving way, even though you're going through all this maybe turmoil inside, but maybe you're coming out of it and you're really excited and passionate, but you still have to find the balance with family and be that action taking kind of superhero person for your family. So that looks like that. Now on the 13th, we have the Sun in Aries, and it's in your fourth house, bringing a lot of vitality to that home. This is like, oh yay, like this is what you wanted. You wanted the sun to shine for that home family, and the way you nurture your family, the way you nurture yourself. You're finding the light there, and it's benefiting this sixth house. So you're finally finding that harmony between home and then your everyday to day life, your day to day actions, your day to day routines, health routine, whatever. And that's looking really good for you, Capricorn. So keep that up. Now, on the 14th, Venus is entering Taurus. And this is in a new house here for you, in your fifth house. Now, fifth house is, it's a lot of different things, and sometimes it doesn't make sense to people, but this is just the way the astrology has set it. But the fifth house really is, it's like a playful house. Let's just put it that way. It's playful, and that's why it's also the house of children, because it's a creative house. It's what you create. Children are something you create. Now, on another playful end, it's getting closer to the relationship houses. So it's also for single people, or if you have children and you're single. It could also be a house for when you're an adult. You're creative and playful with your romantic partners as well. So this could also be for you. You're getting Venus there, which is beneficial, loving, kind of like a blessing planet, and it's kind of giving you that boost for your dating life, or for playtime, or creative life, being creative with your children as well. So that's looking really good for that. And with the theme of family and home, it looks really good as well. Now on the 15th, we have the Sun in Aries in your fourth again, just like on the 13th, and it's sextiling it's benefiting in a very functional way, Jupiter and Aquarius in your second house. So again, that second house popping up, and it's looking like home, all this vitality in the home, all this kind of passion or, creation in the home, these nuances that you're building in the home, they're actually expanding on your finances. They're looking like they're going to expand on the values you have for your family as well. So that's looking really good. If it's not finances or material goods, it's kind of like emotional value you have for them. That's growing as well. Now on the 16th, we have the Sun in Aries in your fourth house, and it's squaring Pluto in Capricorn in the first. Now, why am I not like freaking out about that? Because I see the general theme of the month, and it looks like there's this like ebb and flow of like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Like, because a square in Aries season is like, it's not so gentle. It's not like a gentle nudge. It's like, whoa, what's happening? Like, I can't believe, like, I'm freaking out. But then you after that, like, there's always, in this month I've noticed, there's like a beneficial aspects wrapping around these squares. And that just looks like moving forward and function and kind of like transformation. So yeah, so let's go back to this 16th, Sun in Aries in your fourth. Again, your home and family life. Vitality, also just a lot of energy there. And with a square, it's just like a lot of energy. You could be feeling like, whoa, because it's a square, like a lot of maybe some anxiety, but it's like, it's all for the better. And it's in your it's squaring Pluto and Capricorn in your first. So something with your family is, or your home, or the way you nurture yourself. It doesn't have to be family. It could be just the way you nurture yourself, what you do for yourself to nourish yourself. It is kind of it's a point of a little bit of tension with your transformation, your personal transformation that you're going through these days, and you just anytime there's a square, I see like this, you need to strike a balance. There's a balance to be, there's something to be learned through here, and squares are like I feel like they're like lifting weights because they're a little bit tough, but they make you stronger and they stabilize and they make things stick. And it's kind of like for the long term. You learn the lessons and you're stronger for it for a long time. Now on the 17th, right away again, like I said earlier, picking up the slack is like an extremely positive, an extremely beneficial trine. So with this trine, we have Mars and Gemini in your sixth house, and it's also there with Jupiter and Aquarius in your second, a trine between the both of them. Now we have the actions you take in your day-to-day life. Like I said, Gemini is like really random, and for Capricorns, you guys can feel like, what's going on here? But you guys are, your sixth house is Gemini anyway, so you guys work like that. You probably like the stimulation in your day-to-day life. So yeah, there's a beneficial aspect here with your finances, with your home, with your values, with your material goods and assets. So the actions you're taking in your day-to-day life, they are totally vibing with this. It's looking financially amazing for you guys. Whether it be the values, emotional, like I said, or just like material things. This is very good. And on the 17th, more benefits. There's like 3 beneficials there. We have Mercury in Aries in your 4th house, and it's sextiling Jupiter and Aquarius in your 2nd. Now, along with the action that you've been having, you're in your 6th house of daily action. You're having actionable communication in your 4th house of home. So you're getting a lot of great communication, functional communication, and it's expanding on those material goods, on the finances, and on your values and what you value. Now on the 17th, again, we have Mercury in Aries in the 4th house, sextiling Mars and Gemini in your 6th. So again, there's a reciprocity here, where your communication from the home is working very well with your actions in your day-to-day life. This looks like a lot of, I think it's what Capricorns love. You guys love to have everything working out, like with because 6th house is also your job, your day-to-day job, and having it work with the family life. This is really great. I want to be, honestly, Capricorns have it really great right now. So on the 18th, Sun in Aries in your 4th is conjuncting Mercury in Aries in your 4th. So a conjunction, the planets are coming together, they're overlapping, and that's powerful. The energies are combining. So the Sun in Aries, Sun is very powerful. It's conjuncting Mercury in Aries, so there's a big push in communication, more than usual. And it's in that home house. There's so much in this month about the family base, the home base, the way you nurture yourself. And you are flying, you are doing everything, going above and beyond for that. And that's really nice. So, and maybe you needed that, because I feel like when this is coming up in the chart and the planets, they're kind of like it's something that you needed. And this month for me feels very very transformational, very like everyone's working through like traumas, but coming out of it really, really well. And on the 19th, the Sun and Mercury is entering Taurus in your 5th house. So again, the 5th house, we're getting Venus was there earlier, and we're getting Sun and Mercury really hiking up the energy and kind of like making it more stimulating. So you're having really like either really incredible dates, um, or like maybe both, or maybe you're like a single parent and you're having a dating life and it's really going well. Like you're probably striking a good balance between the two. Now, or sorry to go back, or you're just a creative person that, you know, your home and creative life, and some people that work in creative fields and possibly artistic fields there's a good balance here. You're finding a good stride. Now, on the 22nd, we have, nearing the end of the month, we have Venus in Taurus conjunct, another conjunction, overlap of planets, conjuncting Uranus in Taurus in your fifth. This is pretty huge because Venus is in its home. It's coming home again. Uranus has been in Taurus where that's not its home, it's a visitor. So Uranus is like kind of checking in, like, how is everything going, Uranus? Like, can I, if the planets could talk, she'd be like, I'm so happy. I love being here. Like, can I help you with anything? Like, and then she might come into the house and be like, whoa, Uranus, Uranus is the planet of revolution, of electricity, of let's mix things up. And Venus is like, whoa, like, what did you do with the place? But for you in the fifth house, and with all these, like I said, the theme of the month is like functional progress. So Venus is a beneficial planet. She's like cool. Like she tries to strike a happy chord with everything. In your fifth house, it's like you could be dating someone and they want to try something new, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like let's do it, Or you kind of have this like good attitude about it. Maybe it's a little new for you, and then you're going forward anyway. Or you work in a creative field, and you know you're kind of loving this like nuance that you're doing. Like it's not like the most usual thing, but you're just like doing everything in a different way and loving it. Now, if it's with children, you know, your kids could be acting like they could be acting like more weird than usual, or just more eccentrically, or I don't know what. And but you're finding love and you're finding like endearment in it, and it's like really beneficial for the home as well. So on the 23rd, we have Mars moving into a whole new sign, Cancer, and that's in your seventh house of relationships. So you're dating, and then there's a lot of action from there, moving the for some of you, it might be moving things to the next level and taking action to nurture each other as well. And the seventh house is also just like partnerships. Like it could also be like a business partnership, and you're taking action to make them, to kind of like bond them together as well. Now, towards the end, last week of the month, we have on the 24th Mercury in Taurus, and it's conjunct Uranus in Taurus. Again, another conjunction. Venus was just there, now Mercury's there, and Mercury's like, comes to the party, and he's like, hey guys, like, what's going on? And he's just, Mercury's like, not really like, doesn't really, I wouldn't say it would take sides. It really wants to just learn. And it's like, all right, like I'm liking this. Like in your dating life, it's like, okay, let's talk about this now. Like we're trying new things, and let's talk about it. Let's learn about it. Or if it's your creative life and you're in a creative field, you're trying new things, you're loving it, and you want to like talk about it. You want to disseminate it. Same thing with children. Let's see, you're learning something new from your children. They're teaching you like totally new things, and you're loving it. You're learning to love it, and you're learning to read further into it. It's a very good thing because the newer generation has a big shift in perspective, and it's just like I feel like it's just bubbling up to the surface, and it's so new, and it's so compassionate, and I think it's a higher level of compassion. So yeah, if you're a parent, please listen to those kids, and they might be a little bit out of the box, but that's wonderful. We need to be out of the box thinkers, so that's really great, a really great Capricorn. And it looks like it will expand your family life and your economy as well, so that's great. Now on the 25th, Mercury in Taurus is an actionable square again. From your fifth to your second house, and Mercury in Taurus fifth, squaring Saturn in Aquarius in your second. Now we have the communication, fun, creative communication, communication with your dating partners, communication or with your children. Again, it's the house of what you create and or how you play, because creativity is like, it's very playful, and it's squaring Saturn Aquarius. It's also squaring Jupiter in Aquarius the same day. Now there's an expansion there because Saturn is restricting, but Jupiter expands. So Saturn is kind of saying like, okay, you're creative. Like, I love this. I love that you're talking about creativity, or I love that you're loving all this new stuff you're learning. But something in your values, the second house's values, is kind of holding you back. And with Jupiter there, it's expanding that. Like, there's this push and pull. Like, there's an internal fight within you to accept the new reality, all the new things you're learning, even if you love it. So with a square, usually, I see with everything that's happening, we're in this like Aquarian time. I see that your values are kind of shifting, especially with the second house being Aquarius. They're shifting to like a more like understanding like of all this new stuff. Now on the 25th again, we have Mercury in Taurus conjuncting Venus in Taurus. So yes, to continue with what I was saying, you're loving all these new things you're learning, and that's really nice. So progress. On the 26th, we have a full moon in Scorpio in your 11th house. So with all this energy and all this learning, and all this transformation, the full moon brings everything to a head, and it's high energy. It can be like extremes of happiness. It could be, or it could be just like some people like just start crying or whatever, but like it's just a lot of emotion. So it being that it's in your 11th, it's in your house of friends, your house of gains as well, like gains in the world. So you could be like just hitting a culmination for yourself. It could be financially as well, or with your friends. Like there's like a point of either ultimate happiness, or like just it could be just like crying with all your friends. Like, that's how the full moons work. It's just a lot of energy. But with that energy, there's also a release. So you're emotionally releasing. You're editing what when everything bubbles up to the surface. You're editing, what do you need, what do you not need, and once that happens, it adjusts within you, and you're able to sort out how you feel about things way better after that. Now on the 27th, another huge aspect, we have Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn in your first house. So all these things you're going through with family, with dating, with or your children or your values, um, and your friends as well. I see that in here too. You are transforming Capricorn, like from within and possibly without, as well. And it's the fact that Pluto's going retrograde. When any planet goes retrograde, it's just slowing down, and its energy is concentrated. So Pluto's going retrograde from April 27th to October 6th. So you're getting even more passionate. You're also reviewing all the things that you've been learning about yourself. and all the changes that you've been going through, all for your benefit. I really believe that the universe, God, has it all for the best, and for learning. So on the 29th, to wrap this up, we have Mercury in Taurus in the fifth house, again, the fifth house, sextiling new Neptune in Pisces in the third. So we're ending the month very on a high note, because Mercury in Taurus in your fifth, it wants to communicate about the creative things that you're learning. It wants to talk about it. And Neptune is, it's a very imaginative planet. So sometimes it could be imaginative, or sometimes it can get lost in its own imagination. But this looks like a clear Neptune that is dreaming together with Mercury to talk about all these new creative changes, and it's helping you also business-wise, I see. Now on the 30th, we have the Sun in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus in the fifth. Conjunction, ultimate power. We have Uranus, electric, revolutionary planet, with the Sun, vitality and passion coming together for you, Capricorn, and revolutionizing, this fifth house. It could be with your children. It could be with your creative powers. It could be also your dating life. So you could just be having a lot of fun as well. And I see this all for you, Capricorn. It's not to say that the month won't have points of tension, because it has squares. So there'll be times in the month where you feel like, oh my gosh, everything's going crazy. Or like, whoa, like I can't believe that I'm like having these new thoughts and these new values. But it's all for the better, and it's a really great month for transformation. So with that, thank you so much for joining me. Please feel free to subscribe, to like, comment, anything. And I just wish you the best April and the best beginning of spring. And hope to see you in May. Thank you so much, Capricorn.